Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health coaching paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We try to do that so that you can be helped and guided through some of the more challenging parts of this crazy thing called life. And so, if you are looking for coaching, would love to be of a service to you. Um, anyway, so when we begin to step forward, um, we can kind of begin to master that. And so, what are some bad questions to ask? Um, Asking what other people think we should do takes away the value of communication. So that is to say, rather than saying shouldn't you do or should you do or shouldn't you or why don't you, kind of questioning a person's integrity and autonomy leads them away. It's better to break it down into a simpler question, and there's a value, um, and there's an interesting nature to you know how people kind of view that. It's better to say, what if we did? So that you begin to make people think critically. What if this happened? Then what would happen next? So, bringing out critical thinking into relationships is a very valuable tool. It also allows you to build better bonds with the people in your life. Um, you know, again, asking people why they don't do something or why they did do something also leads to isolation feeling, because why don't you do or why didn't you do, it sounds like criticism and judgment. And so people um, respond better to things like, well, what made you decide to ABC? And then you're talking about the decision making process, which allows you to get into longer form, deeper, more meaningful conversations. When you want to understand a person's motivation without judgment, how did you arrive at this decision is a much better question than why did you do A, B, C, D. And when people hear why did you do or why didn't you do, they're going to feel judged. You want to avoid people feeling judged just based on the fact that if a person feels judged, they're going to shut down on you emotionally, and that ultimately, um, you know, there's this. And then the other thing is, what's wrong with you is a common question that people ask that aren't this isn't very productive. Um, you know, saying something instead like "you seem off" or "you seem like you're having a rough go. Is there anything I can do?" Showing compassion first and judgment not at all, or at the very least secondarily, is imperative when trying to make healthy, smart, meaningful decisions. And when people are willing to do that, they begin to understand the value of connecting on a deeper level. If a person doesn't feel judged, they're more likely to be honest and therefore get the help that they may need, require, or not even know they need, but still would benefit from anyway. So avoiding judgmental language is important when asking um, a valuable or important or meaningful question. And so knowing how to connect on a deeper level there is um, what matters most. And there's a value in that, and you know asking good questions gives people better quality of life and also better quality of relationship by default. um, you know, Telling people what they should know or how they should think or what they should do also leads to a shutdown, because they're automatically going to feel judged. Especially one of the biggest challenges as it relates to getting people to make better quality of decisions is you should think, you should know, you should do. When people feel that, they're going to feel like, hey, you've already judged that because I didn't do, I'm lesser than you. And so they're going to shut down from feeling like they can be helpful. They're going to shut down from feeling like you care what they think or care how they feel or whatever the case may be. And then that ultimately leads to a lot of struggle, a lot of hardship, a lot of difficulty, and ultimately leads people away from feeling like they're in control of making smart, intelligent, and good decisions. And so, when we begin to understand that doing that is something that is valuable and smart and good and just, then we know how to make better decisions for ourselves and ultimately can make a better approach to what it is that we want out of life and the ways in which we foster better relationships, better quality of connections, and communication styles. Everyone has a different style, but understanding how to communicate with a person in the way in which they're most concisely going to understand us is also super valuable and important, and all of that good stuff there. So, understanding how to do that and being committed to doing that is one of the most important factors in all of communication stylings, and that's important as well. So, hopefully, this is helpful, and I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.